Now, today we are going to talk about chapter 10. It's the trigonometric sections where we are discussing some CQs. Today, our first question says, forming 60-degree angle with the ground and 16-meter long ladder touches the top of the vertical wall. So, first word is ladder. We know the ladder, I think. Ladder in Bengali it is called moi. So, what is just given, we have to find the data what actually here is given. First of all, here is given the angle and there is given the distance or the length of the ladder, and which is actually touches to the top of the vertical wall. So our first question says, according to STEM, show that the above description by a figure. So here just you have to draw a figure and you have to write something. You have to write something or you have to give a description. How we can go for these types of questions? It's very easy. Suppose number 1, you have to draw a figure where all the data will be exist on that figure. Since here is given forming 60-degree angle with the ground of 60-meter long ladder, that means suppose this is a ladder. This is a ladder and this is our wall and this is the ground. This is the ground. So here the ladder, length of the ladder is 16-meter long. It is given, and the wall, we don't know what is the length of the wall, but here is talking about the angle what actually created with the ground. The angle created with the ground and the ladder length was 16 meter. That's why we can draw the figure like this way, where we know that wall and the ground, this creates the 90-degree angle. Here it is given 60 degree and the length of the ladder is 16 meter. So our question 1 can be write is like this way, that let the length of ladder, suppose AB is equals to 16 meter. The length of the ladder is 16 meter. It's create an angle with the ground. You know, these types of angle we know as these types of angle are called the angle of elevation. Just we will say that the angle ABC is equals to 60 degree. These two actually information or data is given here, but you can say that what actually AC and BC. We know that the length of wall is AC. Just you can write or you can skip, but since here talking about according to STEM, show that the above description by a figure, you just have to write something what you have been observing from the figure. That's why you can say let the wall, the length of the wall, AC, and this is the distance of the ground. Okay, this is the number 1 question's answer. You can write just like this way, but you need to remember that here you have the option to go by your own way. You can describe this part by yourselves, no problem. Okay, this is the first question. Second question says, find the height of the wall. So you have to find the length of AC, because AC is our wall. So since AC is our wall, that's why we have to find the wall. So we have to find actually AC. By which way we can do that? Okay, since this is the angle, then we can say this is the height. This must be height, and this is the hypotenuse. and this is the angle. So my dear students, can you remember what's the relationship between height and hypotenuse? Yes, the relation goes for sin theta. Sin theta equal height by hypotenuse. Height by hypotenuse. Clear? So the formula of the formula we're going for sine, because the data we need height and here is given the hypotenuse. That's why we have to go this formula. Now just putting the value of sine 60, we know sine 60, the value of sine 60 is root 3 by 2, and AC, the value of AC actually we have to find, and AB, the value of AB is 16. Then AC, just cross multiplication, that will be 16 root 3 equal to AC, and finally AC, just 2 neglected, then we will get 8 root over 3. So the answer will be this meter. The answer will be this meter, or the length of the wall is this meter. So this is our required answer. This is the way we can solve the equation number 2. Okay, thank you. Now our question number 3 says, how far does the foot of the ladder needed to be moved along horizontal line so that it still touches the wall and makes an angle of 30 degree with the ground? Okay, so this is the question number 3, and here what actually happened we have to understand first. Actually the ladder was like this way, but now it is talking about if ladder creates 30 degree angle, creates 30 degree angle, here the angle is 30 degree. So the question is, if here create 30 degree angle, then how much distance it have to be covered? Question says, how far does the foot of the ladder, that is this foot of the ladder, I mean you can say that D, need to be moved. Suppose ladder is the first position was here, now it is moved to this horizontal line, horizontally, so that it still touches the wall, and makes an angle of 30 degree. So suppose this is D, and we know the point, this point is B, and suppose this point is E. Now we need to find actually BD. Already we know the length of the ladder was 16, so this was also 16, and we already know the value of wall is 8 root over 2. 8 root over 3, I think. Yes, 8 root over 3. What we have been just find from 2. So we know the length of AC and we know the length of AB as well as ED. Just we need to find BD. How we can go for this? Okay. First of all, we are going to this way. I mean, we will just find BC from ACB triangle. In ACB triangle, here the base was BC. And if we try to find this value, then this is the hypotenuse and this must be the what? Base. So what is the formula for hypotenuse and base? What is the relation? Where we get the relation from hypotenuse and base? Base and hypotenuse, we generally got the relation from cos theta. Cos theta we know actually from triangle ABC. Okay, cos theta, cos 60 degree equal base by hypotenuse. Then cos 60, the value of cos 60 is half, and BC we have to find. Here AB is given 16, so the value of BC is 16 by 2, that is 8. So we get the value of BC is 8. Now back to the back to the triangle of ECD. This is also an right angle triangle where we know the value of BC is 8 and we don't know what's the value of BD. Actually, we have to find this part and we know the value of ED. So from this part we can go again from triangle ECD. From this triangle, this is the hypotenuse and this is the base. Base and hypotenuse, the relation between base and hypotenuse is, yes, absolutely, we have to go for cos theta. So cos 30 degree is equals to base, that is BD or CD, divided by hypotenuse, that is ED. Here CD, the total length must be BC plus BD, that is 8. Maybe we can let that or assume that this is x. First part we can say that let our BD is x meter. This is our assumption. Then we can write here cos 30 equal cos 30 will be root 3 by 2, that is equal CD, that is 8 plus x, and ED, that must be 16. Now just calculate it, then you will get 16, just 2 cross down, then it will be 8 root over 3, 8 root over 3 equal 8 plus x, then x equal 8 root over 3 minus 8. If we calculate this by using calculator, then we get answer, and the answer or the value will be our required answer. Just wait for a minute. Here is a calculator. We are trying to find the value, that will be 8 root over 3 minus 8, that must be 5.86 meter. This is the value of x. Okay, my dear students, I know you are facing so much trouble in these questions, but no need to worry about this too much, because what actually happened here, first of all, the first position of the ladder was AB, but this ladder just changed its position. The angle was 60, so when it just passes from B to D, then it's actually the angle was reduced into 30. On that time, the length of the ladder was same, but the problem was we don't know the value of BC and BD, but we need to find the BD. That's why we are first of all we are finding the value of BC by using the triangle ACB or ABC. When we are finding the value of BC, on the time we are going for the last part BD, and we are using actually from this triangle ECD, from this triangle we can understand here the relation of hypotenuse and base, and that must be cos theta, and cos theta equal that must be base by hypotenuse. After that, just we calculate and we get our final answer. This is the way we can find or calculate these types of questions. Okay, we will go our next math. Okay, dear students, this is our second math, and this is number 21. Here our esteem says in this figure CD is 96 meter. It is given, and this figure is also given in our esteem. Here also given the angle 60 degree and this angle is 30 degree. It is a given. Now the question is, first question says find the angle CAD. What the angle actually? CAD. This angle we have to actually find. By which way we can find this angle? Okay, my dear students, we know that generally this angle is equals to sum of these two angles. From that formula we can say our solution number 1, we know the angle of ACB, that is this angle ACB, is equals to the addition or summation of CAD plus angle of ADC. These two angles actually Actually, this is the formula of the geometry. We know this. Okay, what's the value of ACB? This angle equals to 60 degree. CAD, we have to find actually this degree, and ADC, this angle is 30 degree. Then this 30 degree, if changed its side, then it will be CAD is equals to 60 degree minus 30 degree, and finally we get 30 degree. So our answer of this angle CAD is nothing but the 30 degree. That's our answer. This is how we can solve the question number 1. Our question number 2 says find the value of BC. How can we find this distance of BC? How can we do that? Okay, to solve these types of math, first of all we have to go for some assumptions. Let our assumptions of AB is H and our BC is X. These are assumptions. Okay, from the triangle ABC, if this is H and this X, then what's the relationship between this part and this side? Since this is the angle, then we can say this is nothing but the base and this is the height. So we can say we know tan theta here is given 60 degrees equals to our height divided by base. We know our height is nothing but the H, because our assumption was height was this, and we know tan 60 degree is root over 3 is equals to AB equal H and BC equal X. Okay, from here we can say that A is equal root 3 into X. This is the first thing we have get from the triangle ABC. Now we need to find the value of X, but from this triangle we can't get the conclusions. That's why we have to go our total triangle and the triangle of ABD. What actually says our total triangle ABD? So that's why I have been writing here that from the triangle ABD, from this triangle we know what we know. We know that this is actually the base and this is the height and the angle is this. So it is also tan relation, and here tan 30 degree is equals to the height divided by base. And we know that our assumption says the height was H and base was X plus 96, where tan 30 is 1 by root over 3. And we know from the this equation, or from the relationship from this triangle what we have been given, that H equal root 3 into X. So H equal this, we will putting the value of H in this part, then we get 1 by root over 3 equal root 3x divided by x plus 96. How we get here? From 1. So just side note, you have to use from 1 we can write it. Okay, just cross multiplication 1 into this, that will be x plus 96, and if we root 3 into root 3, that must be 3 into x. Then if it is changed its side, it will be twice x equal 96, or x equal, we get 4 and 16, then 8, 48. That's our value of BC, what we exactly had to find. So the value of BC was x equal 48. So this is the answer of number 2. I think we can understand how we can actually find the value of BC. Now our question number 3 says find the perimeter of ACD. Where actually this ACD? We have to find the perimeter. What actually meaning of the perimeter, or how we can find the perimeter of some triangle? The perimeter, always you have to understand, or I think perimeter means the sum of the sides. Perimeter means the sum of 3 sides. If we have to, if that is talking about the find the perimeter of triangle, then we know, or we can understand that we have to sum the 3 sides. So in this figure we are just talking about number 3, so no need to this part actually, we can erase it. Okay, here ACD, we already know that this is 30 degree. Since this is 30 and this is 30, then we can say the length also should be same. So this is 96, then this length also be 96. Now the question is, what is the length of AD? We don't know what's the value of AD. To find the length of AD, we have to take the help from triangle ABD first. From the triangle ABD we have to find AD. But one thing also we can do from here, that how we can find the how we can find this side. 2 ways. One way is relationship between the height and hypotenuse, or base and hypotenuse. Okay, since we have already find that this is our 48 meter and this is 96 meter, if we add these two, then 48 plus 96, that must be 4, and 10 14. So our length of BD is 144. Length of BD is 144. Okay, now number 3, talking about the perimeter. Okay, we have to find this part. You can write from triangle ABD. We know the cos theta, cos 30 degree equal base by hypotenuse. Base by hypotenuse, and cos 30 is nothing but the root 3 by 2, and BD we know it is 144 because BD is the summation of BC and CD, and 48 plus 96, that must be 144, and divided by AD, what we have to actually find. Then we get from AD equals to 144 into 2, 882 divided by 3, root over 3 actually. Sorry, it will be root over 3. Now we get the value of AD, and we know AC equal 96 and CD equal 96 because of the angular same. Now perimeter will be AC plus CD plus AD, where AC was 96, CD was 96, and AD was 288 by root over 3. If we calculate all of this, then we get 96 plus 96 plus 288 by 3, that will be 358.28 meter. So this is our answer. So this is how we can find the value of number 3. So I think we can understand number 2. Okay, thank you. Okay, dear students, this is our third and last math for this lecture, and most importantly, what information I wanted to give you, that these types of broken tree related maths are very, very important for all types of exams. So it's my advice to you, don't skip these types of math. Rather, you have to observe these types of math very carefully while the broken tree was coming, or broken tree related math was coming, will be coming. Okay, Here the question number 18 says a tree is broken by a stone such that the broken part makes an angle of 30 degree with the other and touches the ground at a distance of 12 meter from it. Find the length of the whole tree. Here, suppose this is the tree. Okay, this is our tree, though it's not looks like so good. However, this is the tree. A storm is coming, and on the time the tree was broken from this part. If tree is broken from this part, then this part will fall in here. So we can say that this part was broken and come into this part. So we can say this is our broken part. Suppose in this here our tree is broken. So what actually happened here? We need to understand this part very carefully, and this part we need to, if we understand, then broken part types math is very much easier to you. What actually happened? That was our first unbroken tree, but somehow from a storm, or for the reason of a storm, the tree was broken, and broken from this part. If this tree broken from this part, then this part actually fall into this way. On the time this will be known because the tree has been broken. Okay, so we can say this part is unbroken part and this part is broken part. Where we can also say that our this part and this part will always give the same answer, because this part is actually fallen here. I think you can understand the concept of this broken part. Our broken tree is here. Okay, now question says a tree is broken by a storm such that the broken part makes an angle of 30 degree. By which way? That's a very important part. With the others, not with the grounds. So this broken part creates an angle with the others. That means actually here the angle has been created. If here is talking about with the ground, then the angle must be here. But since it is called with the others, the broken part makes an angle with the others. That means angle will be this, not here. This is the first part. Second part is touches the ground at the distance of 12 meter from it. That means this broken part touches the ground from the from it. That means here is given the value of this part, and this part is 12 meter. This part is 12 meter. Clear? Actually these all are given. So question says find the length of the whole tree. So you need to find this part and also this part, and this part is known as broken part, and this part is known as unbroken part. Okay, we can solve this type of math by this way. Let us assume that our unbroken part, or we can say our total tree, suppose A, B, and it is broken from C, and this is our D. Then let our total tree, or the length our total tree is AB, where unbroken part of tree, here the unbroken part of tree BC, or since we don't know the value we can write here, and the broken part of tree will be AC. Okay, now we need to find the value of others. Okay, since this is the angle, then what we can say, we may just assume that actually this unbroken part actually BC, unbroken part BC, that can be Ace, and the broken part AC equal CD equal to maybe X. We just let us assume our broken part and unbroken part here. Okay, now here this is the angle, this is the value is given, and also the value also here is given. What is the relationship between this part and this part? Since the angle is here, then we can understand that this is the height and this is the base. So what is the relationship between height and base? Yes, tan theta. So we know tan 30 or tan theta will be height by base. Achha. So here tan theta equal 12 by ace. That means the height by base. Now we know tan 30 equal 1 by root over 3, 12 by ace, then ace will be 12 root over 3. Okay, so this is the actually we can understand the unbroken part is 12 root over 3, or we get the value of the unbroken part. Now we have to find the broken part, and broken part is here. So this is our hypotenuse and it is our height. So height and hypotenuse, what's the relationship between height and hypotenuse? The relationship between height and hypotenuse, that must be what? Again we know height and hypotenuse, yes, sine theta. So a sine theta equal height by hypotenuse, that is BD by CD. So the 30 means half equal BD, that is 12, and CD we have to find. So CD will be remain here, or we can say that CD equal our x. CD equal where x. Then x equal just cross multiplication. It will be 24. It will be 24. Here x is here and this is ace. If we add these two, then we will get what? We will get our total length of, yes, our total length of tree. So the total length of tree will be AC plus BC. AC plus BC. Here AC is x and BC is ace. That is x, that is 24, and ace, that is 12 root over 3. 12 root over 3. And finally we get our answer. Just a minute. 12 root over 3, that is 20.78 passed to 4. It's 40. It's 44.78. 44.78. That is our required answer. So to find out the total tree of the broken part, we are going for two formula in the same figure. First of all, we are going to the relation of what height and base, then height and hypotenuse, that is tan theta and sin theta. This is how we can solve these types of math. I think this lecture is very effective for you. Most importantly, you have to wrote all the part in this chapter what I have been just discussed, and it's my advice to you, don't just leave it to see these types of lecture for the one time. Go to home and again you have to write this lecture at home for the second or third times. Thank you. Keep safe and remain well. Thank you.